Hello and welcome. This video is for two sets of people. The first set are those who are looking at investing in Abuja generally, either in real estate or just investing in any kind of business in Abuja. The second set are those who are looking at relocating back to Nigeria from the diaspora or relocating from any other city within Nigeria to the city of Abuja. This is absolutely for you because we're looking at 20 complete reasons why you should make that decision in favor of Abuja. 20 complete reasons why you should make that decision in favor of Abuja. This investing in real estate in Abuja, relocating to Abuja, or just considering Abuja for whatever decision you are making, right? So first we started this trip somewhere around Congestion Road. At this point, we just actually passed the city gate from the airport road. Just made a diversion from the airport road towards the Congestion way, right? So ladies and gentlemen, this video right here is brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd, a real estate company registered here in Nigeria, and we're right here in the city of Abuja, bringing you the best of real estate, the absolute best of real estate. When you're looking at real estate investment in Abuja, we are the company to reach out to. If you're looking at buying land for appreciation purposes, or you're looking at buying built-up properties for rental income, whatever your option is, we're absolutely here to give you the best of it. Part of our priority as a company is to be there for you, to be part of your financial success story as you journey to building sustainable wealth through real estate investment. We don't just look out for one-time transactions. We really want to be part of that story as you build through real estate investment. That's called Cherish Building to your right. And just in case you are yet to subscribe, this is the best time to do so. All you have to do is to click the subscribe button and also turn on the notification so that you'll be notified whenever we post amazing content. We don't just bring you real estate investment opportunities, we also educate you so that you know how to safely and rightly invest in a booming city like Abuja. So it only makes sense for you to subscribe because we are committed to you and we are here for you. So ladies and gentlemen, let us go to the very first reason why you should consider or favorably look at Abuja for whatever decision you're looking at making. Number one is the fact that Abuja is the first purpose-built city in Africa. Abuja is the first purpose-built city in Africa, and by that we're simply saying that first, we all know that Abuja, or the Federal Capital Territory, was formerly in Lagos and then was eventually moved to Abuja. Yeah, and based on that, it wasn't just it didn't just wake up and moved to Abuja. Abuja had to be built from ground up. Abuja had to be designed. As a matter of fact, people who designed Abuja were international, is an international organization, and they had to be a bid, and then beyond the bid, there had to be a conglomeration. Some companies had to come together at the International Planning Authority to look at building Abuja, and then they didn't just build it anyhow. They had to look at standards from the Washington DC, looked at standards from Brasilia and Brazil, Paris, and some other amazing cities, specifically these three cities, and that's how Abuja, the planning, the whole of Abuja came about from scratch. And Abuja has phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and even up to phase 5. And in all of those phases, you have districts, and then you also have specific purposes for their designs in terms of housing and all of that. So generally, Abuja is the first purpose-built city in Africa, and by standard, it's really up there in terms of standard. Number two, Abuja is calm and serene. Abuja is really calm. Abuja, when you look at Abuja compared to some other cities in Nigeria, Abuja is really calm. The congestion is not there. As a matter of fact, the way Abuja is sort of designed, even if there's going to be, population continues to increase, it's planned in such a way that there's room to allow more people, such that there won't be congestion compared to some other cities. So really, in terms of calmness and serenity, Abuja really has it. Roughness isn't there. The roughness that you experience in some other cities, you don't find it in Abuja. You drive through most roads with some calmness, and no need to stress yourself. The stress level is really low here, right? And that's that for number two. Number three is the road network. You may not really get this point until you possibly drive through the roads of Abuja, or you just get to have a drive through around Abuja. The road connections are amazing. The road network, how they are designed, the service lanes, how the service lanes are designed in such a way that you can make proper connections and just enjoy free flow of traffic, right? And that really makes a lot of sense, because and then there's even further space for road expansion, assuming there's need for that. So altogether, in terms of road network and connections, you have it. The flyovers are in their right places. The junctions are properly designed in such a way that there won't be a congestion at very important junctions. So basically, altogether, in terms of road network, Abuja is good to go. The National Church is just to your left. The building you just saw with the cross on it. We've passed the National Mosque already, and all right, let's go to number 4. I mean, there's a lot to say here, and I don't want to make this video more than 30 minutes. Okay, so yeah, number 4, Abuja is really fast developing. I mean, at a point, Abuja, if you can Google this online, Abuja was the fastest growing and developing city in the entire world. Fastest growing city in the entire world, and right now it's still amongst the fastest, no longer the first, but amongst the fastest, right? So in terms of development, Abuja, I mean, you can check the video that we have on this channel where we compared Abuja in the 1980s, how Abuja looked. I mean, Abuja was literally bush in the 1980s compared to what it is right now. You can check out that video right on this channel. Yeah, so yes, in terms of fast development, Abuja has got it, and that really makes sense. Or that makes sense, especially to the next point, especially with respect to the next point that I'm going to have to make, which is number 5, booming real estate sector. Abuja has a booming real estate sector. Okay, yeah, this is the National Mosque to your left. Abuja has a booming real estate sector. I mean, with a good population, you would expect that first, based on the planning of the city, right, and then the fact that it is the federal capital territory. So generally, as far as real estate is concerned here in Abuja, you are definitely you're guaranteed to make your returns on investment. We have one of the practices that we have for sale that was 2 years ago, launched at 4 million, and at this point, at the point of doing this video, it is going for 17 million, right? So in terms of appreciation, Abuja really land, in terms of when you buy into land, Abuja gives you very good returns. There are properties, we have properties in our portfolio that are going for as low as 30 million that can give you 2 million naira per annum on rental income, guaranteed 2 million naira every year on rental income, right? We have investment opportunities or properties for sale for as high that can give you rental value of around up to 15 million naira per annum, right? So and then it's not like I'm not going to have to, I don't want to do comparison here now, but basically in some other cities you can say have a property or invest 80 million naira in a property and may not even be able to get up to 1 million naira as rental income. But with 80 million naira, and I just gave you an instance that we have properties for 30 million naira that can give you guaranteed 2 million naira every year on rent. That's to show you the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And I mean, basically, to some persons who are not investors. Now to your right, let me quickly say that to your right is part of the fencing of the Aso Rock. To your right is from the entire right hand side to and extends to a very large expanse, is part of Aso Rock. All right, so generally, as far as lands are concerned, as far as if you're looking at rental income, you're good to go. People who really get, I mean, it's not everyone that owns property, of course, right? But generally, for people who are investors, they smile in Abuja. The people who pay the rent that really don't smile every day. I'm sure you understand that. So number 6, land administration in Abuja. So first, you have the Land Use Act. Generally, in terms of land administration, I've done real estate in other states, right? Comparatively, Abuja has some level of land administration. They can easily take a document, go to the appropriate authority and do a check, and they can tell you who owns the property, or just give you details as it relates to that particular property, right? So in terms of land administration, Abuja has an edge over most, or if not all, of other cities in Nigeria, right? So that's especially because it was built from scratch, and there's in terms of administration, first is the federal capital territory, and all lands are vested in the minister of the FCT, right? So based on that level of administration, particularly with the Land Use Act, then you also have that level of administration that comparatively is better than most states, if not all states in Nigeria. Number 7, nightlife in Abuja. For those of you who like nightlife, you will enjoy Abuja, because first, even at night, the city is calm, right? And you just see people. First of all, you enjoy the beauty of having light on the road. It's not every city that you drive in Nigeria and then you find lights on the road. I mean, street lights, right? In fact, in some, if not most roads in Abuja, you can drive without. There are sometimes I drive at night and I forgot, especially when you're coming back from church and all of that, you realize, or coming back from work late, you drive into the road and realize that you've not put on your light, so that's and then you have very beautiful places that you may want to consider looking at. I'm not going to mention name. I don't want to do free advert for some, but they're very good places you can enjoy yourself at night right here in Abuja. Number 8 is security. In terms of security, of course, this is the Federal Capital Territory, right? You don't expect any other place to be as secure as here. It's in the movies. Proud to moving to Abuja. It's only in the movies that you get to see police officers just park at strategic points on the road without blocking the road. Most of the times, what you see is police officers blocking the road and doing what they know how to. You understand what I mean. There's something they do when they block the road, right? But here in Abuja, I mean, if you drive through the airport road, almost at every point driving through the airport road, not always, but most times driving through the airport road, you would see at every major junction there's a police vehicle parked there, and they're just observing. So you can drive almost at every 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers, there are police officers parked there. Sometimes you see military officers in different strategic points. Particularly, it's mostly police officers parked at very strategic points in major roads. 1, 2, 3 kilometers, you see them parked at every major junction, sometimes not even a major junction. They just park there like that. Just even at night, you see them just parked in very good locations that just give a sense of security, and then so I mean, generally the barracks, everything, this is not a point to argue, right? But it's just a fact to state. And the ninth reason why you should invest in Abuja is because, yes, it is the Federal Capital Territory. It is the seat of power. You can't beat that. No other place in Nigeria is the Federal Capital Territory. So the fact that it is the Federal Capital Territory makes it the reason you should favorably look at it, because every other thing is here. It's the seat of power. Every other thing just falls back to this place somehow. So that's the ninth reason. The 10th reason is the fact that the high and mighty visit this place every now and then. Multinational companies. So if you're someone who's looking at opportunities or doing anything around, this is Maitama. Where we are right now is some part of Maitama, right? Maitama is one of the top places in Abuja. The only problem, I wouldn't call it a problem. I'll call it a problem because comparative to other locations, one of the things that you see in Maitama that possibly may not make sense is the fact that the roads are not very wide, right? Comparative to other locations within Abuja. Now, but Maitama is really expensive. Real estate is really expensive here, right? And of course, the big boys are also here. Okay, so where am I? So yes, there's frequent visits from high, mighty, powerful people and multinationals. So that makes, of course, these people will need hotels, they will need short-let apartments, they will need services, they will need to eat, they will need to do a lot of things, right? So because of that frequent visit, multinational. There's almost no restaurant or eatery or shopping mall or major place you walk into in Abuja and you won't see a white person, right? You won't see a foreigner, right? So that's Abuja for you, and it makes it somewhere to consider doing whatever you want to do, if it's business or relocating for more opportunities and all of that. And number 11 is the beautiful hills. Personally, I love the hills. Personally, that's one behind this house. Personally, I just love it. If you are lucky to have your house on one of them, then it now gives you a view of the city. I personally love the hills. That's for me. I like a view. I mean, I just want to have a view of some other places. Sometimes on a lighter mood, it makes you look like you are viewing the world from up. You are up there and people are down there. You understand what I mean, right? So I love the hills. Number 12 reason is the weather. Abuja is one place that you can safely say it has 3 seasons. It's not exactly just the 2, dry season and wet season or rainy season, right? Abuja sort of can be divided safely into three seasons. You have the period when it is very warm. It's just warm. It's just there, right? It's somewhat in between, just calm, just cool, right? And then you have the point when it is raining, right? And then you have the last point when it is really hot. By hot, not hot like the northern part of Nigeria, but it's just hot, right? And then on the average, you have Abuja with a 29.1 degrees Celsius in terms of weather. So on the average, it's a good place to check out in terms of weather. Number 13 point of reason why you should favorably look at Abuja for your real estate investment generally or any other thing is the fact that it is properly positioned. One of the reasons for taking away from Lagos is because of its positioning. So basically, they have to take Abuja to the center of Nigeria. So if you look at the map, you'd see it properly there. Abuja is in the center of Nigeria. So in terms of accessibility, there's almost no place from within Nigeria that most places that have airports within Nigeria, for you to come to Abuja is usually around 1 hour, by flight, right? It's just for those places that the roads are not maybe very good or accessible that you get to drive really far. But altogether, Abuja is in the middle of Nigeria, and in terms of accessibility to whatever you are doing, it is easily accessible, right? This is both by air and by road, all right? And number 14 is the population. For an investor, whatever you want to do, you're an entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, you're doing basic buying and selling, population is good for whatever you are doing. With a growing population, the real estate sector will continue to boom. We took a client inspection and we did this video, and one of the things that we're having a conversation about is the fact that a lot of houses springing up in Abuja. But the truth about it is, as much as there are a lot of houses, that's the first headquarter to a ride that we just passed. Now, as much as there are a lot of houses springing up in Abuja, the truth, or the deeper truth rather, is the fact that there's still housing deficit because the population continues to grow, and as the population continues to grow, whatever you are building will be useful. Somebody will need whatever you are building, and that's because the population, people keep moving to Abuja. People are growing within Abuja. Children are becoming older. People who were born yesterday are becoming adults, and they will need their own houses, real estate. All together, in terms of population, you will enjoy whatever you intend doing here. People will buy your product. People will patronize your service, and all of that. And that's that for number 14. And number 15 is cheap food. Abuja. The truth is, when you price food items in some places and you come and price it in Abuja, you would almost think that you are outside of Nigeria. I don't want to give specific details, but I've personally, on so many occasions, driven my wife to the market and accompanied her to buy things, and I've always been a kitchen person as an individual. I mean, growing up without a girl in my home, so I've always been a kitchen person, so I'm very familiar with market activities, right? So buying stuff in the market, just when you walk into any major market in Abuja, you understand what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, even within your estate, what you ordinarily buy in some places for 500 naira, even within your estate. That, I mean, things are supposed to be more expensive within an estate, as it were. Within your estate, you will still buy it at prices that are better than some other places, some other markets, major markets outside of Abuja. Some people, there's this saying that you always hear in Abuja. Once you have a house and you have a car in Abuja, every other thing is just is nothing, is not expensive. Let me just say it that way, right? So that's that. In terms of cheap food, I mean, your Abuja is your number one, and number 16 is tourist interest. So first is the FCT, right? So there will always be interest. I mean, people coming into Nigeria, they want to visit the FCT. Somebody maybe doing within Nigeria cannot do outside of Nigeria. I just want to go and relax somewhere. FCT is also an option, and there are a lot of parks for that. A lot of hotels to check into, hotels with rooms of even up to 500 rooms and all of that, right? So they're very good places to check out tourist sites. And what our time is almost up, so just basically in terms of tourist interest, Abuja is also a place to consider. Number 17 is business area, for people who are business people, right? Whatever you're looking at doing, let me say this: Abuja is somewhere that is not very that hustling spirit. Permit me, I'm saying this now from experience. Abuja, for instance, let me give you an instance. In some states or some cities, from the very second day of the year, people are already rushing, people are already hustling, people are already pushing, people are already grinding. But on the average, some offices open at the point of doing this video is being recorded on the 14th of January 2023. I tell you fact, some companies are yet to open their offices on the 14th of January. I'm telling you fact. We wanted to check an estate on Friday, at the Friday of recording this video, which is supposed to be today's 13th. After the 13th of January, we checked in offices that were supposed to look at their product for our clients. They had not resumed. We visited one of the offices that we visited on the 13th that had not resumed on the 14th. On the 13th, we visited that office on the somewhere around the 18th of December, and they said they were closed for the year, that we were going to resume on the 9th of January. We went there on the 13th of January and they are still not resumed. That's the way Abuja is. So if you're somebody who is a hustler, somebody who really can push, somebody who can, Abuja is for you, because on the average, people are laid back. People just sort of relax, make their small money, enjoy it and all of that. So on the average, for somebody who really is a pusher, then you may want to consider Abuja because you sort of do well in Abuja. All right, the 18th point, I'm going to rush from here. 18th point is room for congestion management. Abuja has so most of the times, for instance, just look at the road we're driving through right now. You'll barely see houses to your left and to your right. What you'll be seeing are trees. And also that's another good thing about Abuja. Abuja, the tree planting is something very important here. Most roads have trees to your left and to the right. Even within estate, a lot of planting of trees, right? So for most of the roads in Abuja, you barely see houses to your left and to your right, because there's room for space. Yes, there's room for more roads, assuming it gets to a point where there has to be an expansion of the road, so they won't have to be destroying houses, right? So in terms of congestion, the city grows to a point where it's 20 million, 30 million, there's sort of room for management of the congestion that may come, right? Even in terms of land size, Abuja has it, so there's room. And then the way Abuja is spread in such a way that development moves from the middle towards the outskirts and from the outskirts towards the middle. So in between, there's a lot of space for management of people. Number 19, we're almost there, is home to the most powerful Nigerians and the wealthiest people in Nigeria. Abuja is also considered one of the wealthiest cities in the world. You can check that out. Abuja is also considered one of the wealthiest cities in the world. And the fact that there are wealthy people here, it means that they will have a lot of needs that they may not want to handle themselves. They may need, or they will need people to do that. So altogether, if you're somebody who is servant-minded, who is service-oriented, an entrepreneurial, has an entrepreneurial spirit in that regard, then Abuja is somewhere you want to consider. If you're an investor, people will always buy your product. If you're doing lots of product, whatever you're doing, people will always buy your product because people with the money are right here. Number 20, which is the last reason we're giving in this video, is the fact that we are here. The 20th reason why you should consider looking at Abuja is because Fortreal Rei Ltd is here. If you're looking at relocating back to Nigeria and you want to buy a house, Fortreal Ltd is available to deliver the best to you. If you're looking at buying land and you want to start building with efficient management, Fortreal Ltd is here for you. If you're looking at just buying land for investment purposes, Fortreal Ltd is here for you. If you're looking at relocating to Abuja and you want to look out for a house to rent where you need to stay, Fortreal Ltd is here for you. One of the reasons, major reasons why you should consider Abuja is because we are here, and as a company we are committed to just delivering the best to you. We prioritize safety, profitability and sustainability of all our investments as it relates to real estate, and you really would want to consider using us for whatever services you will need as it relates to real estate. As we said in the beginning, we don't just look out for one-time transactions. We want to do the first one for you, the second, the third, the fourth, up to whenever you can boast of attaining sustainable wealth, becoming financially free and financially independent. We want to be there for you. We want to be part of that journey. We want to be part of your financial success story, right? So that's why we don't just look at for one-time transactions, and whenever we have any that we have to do it efficiently and professionally so that you will come back. And yes, that is the last reason you should consider coming to Abuja, because you won't have issues as relates to your investment or whatever you will need. So please subscribe to the channel, stay in touch, and don't forget to turn on notifications so that you always be notified whenever we post amazing content like this very one. And of course, there are educational videos around this channel that show you or teach you how to invest safely and rightly in a city like Abuja. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video, and we're going to give copyright credit to people who will use their drone short videos. For those who are not able to do so, kindly drop a message to us and we'll definitely give credit to what you have done. I mean, we don't take your hard work for granted. We celebrate you, and we definitely will not ignore you or refuse to give credit to you as it is due. So ladies and gentlemen, finally, bye bye.